Alright guys, we are finally back out on the open water. This is the first canoe camping trip of the year. I'm just going to stay out for one night. I'm on a little island out here. But yeah, today is a big day. I'm super excited to announce that I have finally gotten a new canoe. I went this morning to pick it up and I brought all my camping gear in case I was excited and wanted to go out and camp. And I am. So, super stoked to be out here on the water. Gonna do a little bit of fishing. Hopefully we can catch something, but it doesn't really matter. Just excited to be back out here in the warm weather. No snow, no ice. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm gonna unload my gear, get my camp set up, and then I'm going to show you the new canoe for 2024. Alright guys, here it is. This is the Esquif Adirondack. It is a 12-foot solo canoe. So it's about 3 feet shorter than my old canoe. 1 seat instead of 2. But the weight difference in this thing is unreal. My old canoe, it would have took everything I had just to try to get it up off the ground. It was so awkward, so heavy. It probably weighed about 100 pounds. This thing weighs about 42 pounds. And you can tell the difference. This is going to be an absolute dream for portaging in comparison to the old one. So I've been looking for a canoe for quite some time now, pretty much since I went on my Algonquin trip about 2 years ago. I was always looking at Marketplace, just trying to see if I could find a good deal on one. And if I did, it was sold. And if I found the canoe that met all of my checkpoints on my list, it usually was way too expensive. So I had my eye on this, honestly, since the beginning, and I was just so unsure because of the length of the canoe. It's a 12-foot canoe. It leaves a lot less room for gear, and if you can't tell, I'm on a one-night trip here, and I had the canoe full. I bring too much stuff. Camera gear, big tents. This backpack is absolutely full, and does it really need to be? No, I'm probably just going to use this friggin' camera, my fishing rod, go fishing, go to sleep, wake up, go home. But I brought everything. In the end, one of the major selling points of this canoe is the T4 Max material that it is made out of. It's supposed to be a super durable material. It's supposed to stand up to some rough stuff. You should be able to go down, hit a few rocks, drag it over beaver dams. You're going to scratch it, of course, but it's not going to ruin the integrity of the canoe. And that was what I was concerned of when you start talking about light canoes. How do you make a light canoe? You make the material thinner and use less of it, and that's a concern. This isn't like being in a boat where you try to stay to the deeper water. You're trying to get through tiny creeks to those tight areas, to the way back country, to enjoy the peace that you can get from it. So when you're picking a canoe, you really want something that's going to answer what you're going to put in front of it, and I think this canoe is going to be able to do that for me. Well, no luck fishing so far. I trolled around the island. I just really wanted to get out in the canoe and paddle a bit more. Trying to get used to it here. I've only got a few more weekends here before I go on a big trip, so I want to get used to paddling again. Honestly, it's been a long time. I haven't been out since last spring, so yeah. Yeah, I was concerned about getting firewood because I'm on an island, but there's tons of fallen trees here and everything is super dry. I'm actually gonna have to keep an eye on this fire here because everything is so dry. It's the end of March. Like, you would think it would be a little damp out here, but you could light this whole island up right now. Yeah. Oh. For a $6 steak, that was absolutely delicious. The pan was like perfectly heated. A lot of times on a fire, you either get too hot, too cold, and the meat doesn't always cook to perfection. But that time it did. Yeah. All right. Well, as you can see, the clouds have rolled in. It's starting to get pretty dark out here. The temperature has completely changed from what it was like this afternoon. I think it's supposed to be -1 or -2 tonight. Chance of snow, but no big deal. For now, I need to just get all my gear cleaned up, organize myself, and then I'm gonna grab some more firewood because I've took that pile in half already. I won't be up too late, but once it gets dark, there's gonna be absolutely nothing to do here on this island but stare at a fire. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well, guys, it feels so great to be back out here. It's been since last May since I went on my last little canoe trip. I was back with Coastal, and honestly, I missed it a lot. Um, there's something about just going out with the gear you have and making up a campsite, cutting up some firewood, and just making the most of it, you know? Uh, this island, actually, I came and camped at, like, it had to be over 5 years ago, back when I was still partying. And one of the greatest memories I have from that trip was I went out in the canoe, and it had to be like 3 in the morning, and the whole lake was just lit up from the stars and the moon. And it's just something I'd never really experienced. And it was just so peaceful, like so different from the chaotic life that I was living at that time. And still to this day, when I go on these trips, that's what it does for me. It, like, just taking that like big breath and it's just letting it out, you know, making you back to zero. Just everything's gonna be all right. But yeah. On another note, I guess I should touch on the canoe, because that's what this video is really about, is the new canoe. And I am in love. I am so stoked. The weight of that thing is just remarkable to me in comparison to the old canoe, and the challenge it's going to give me to figure out how to pack properly and get my gear in line so I have to work with that limited space. I'm actually excited for that challenge because I overpack all the time. I'm always concerned that I'm just going to be missing that thing, and all of the things in my bag today I barely used. I just used my cooking stuff, the camera I'm talking to right now, and the freaking canoe and the fishing rod. Like, it's all you need. So I'm excited for that. I'll be able to do like single carries also, because I'm able to whip that thing onto my shoulder like it's a couple of 2x6s. So more than ecstatic to go on more adventures with this canoe. I'll give you guys a more refined opinion of that canoe once I've used it more. But as of right now, I am in love with it. Anyways, enough is enough. Enough talking for today. I'm just going to sit here, enjoy the fire, and take in the night. Good morning, everyone. What a morning it is. I get to just wake up to an entire orchestra of birds, from goose, ducks. I just seen a seagull. Everything's going on. And I also heard something that sounded like a cat. So I don't know if there's a bird that can sound like a cat, or if I'm on an island with some type of cat. It's a little nerve-wracking. But yeah. This island is like this lake is littered with cottages, but this island is giving this feeling like I'm isolated out in the middle of nowhere, which is pretty nice, I must say. I'm not really sure what type of ducks these are. I've seen quite a few now, but originally I seen one right here in front of me on the water, and it was just coming out of frame. I didn't really get it in focus, but it's like a white duck, and it either has like a black head or maybe a very dark brown. And then the females look to be more on the brown side with maybe some gray. I want to call it like a wood duck or something because that sounds legit, but I'll look it up. Alright guys, I've got all my gear packed up, loaded in the canoe. But what a great night, honestly. It really all came together this morning with just all the birds and the wildlife. It's so much calmer today. It's really beautiful, honestly. Yeah, super excited for the year to come. This canoe is going to be an absolute game changer wherever it is. Here you are. I am super stoked on it. Once I get that yoke in place, I will be able to take this thing almost anywhere. That's how I feel anyways. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get on my way. So just keep going, one day at a time.